Comedian Jackie Fabulous is in town performing tonight and tomorrow at Comedy at the Carlson. She joins us live first here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Let me turn the light on. That's better. How are you?
Look at you. Looking fabulous. I saw those nails.
Oh, please. I'm barely awake. Why is it so early?
It's a good question. I'm barely awake, too. I say that every morning. Is Fabulous your real last name?
It's the name I go by everywhere. I haven't changed it on my license yet, but that's next.
Okay. Now, you used to be a lawyer. Is that right?
I have a law degree. I do not have a bar card, so I cannot help anybody, but I can practice federal law. I can practice immigration law, but yeah, I left that behind a long time ago, yeah.
How did you transition from law degree to comedian, doing stand-up?
It's really easy. I just did stand-up after work. You know, I was a single girl, no kids, so I had all the energy when my 9 to 5 was over, and I would just go try and play around. And because I didn't have any aspirations to do it as a career, I did it for a long time for fun and got good without the pressure.
Yeah.
And then kept doing it until 2010, where Caltech fired me. And then I'm like, okay, well, then guess what? That's probably a sign. And I just left the day job and did it full-time after that.
You had a backup plan. Yeah.
Yes.
I imagine, though, if you were practicing law, you'd be pretty funny in the courtroom then.
You know, that's probably the only reason why I did it. I wanted to perform and wear cute, tight little suits.
You can still do that. I also hear that you are a motivational speaker. You are encouraging women, and that is something that's important to you, which I think is great.
Yes, I do that a lot, too. I had my first, right before the Rona hit, I did my first big women's conference, women's leadership conference in Vegas, and speaking in front of thousands of women. And I'm not going to lie, it didn't feel that different from doing stand-up.
Yeah.
I just made sure I had a message and not only punchlines.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy doing that. It's probably what I would do full-time instead of just going to comedy, in addition to going to comedy clubs.
Yeah, that's a natural transition for you. What is it about motivating others, speaking to others, especially women, empowering them? Why is that so important to you?
You know, my little elevator pitch is I like to influence women around the world, showing them how to find the funny in their flaws. And I found that after my comedy shows, women were having a good time, but they were also like, you know what, you feel so relatable. And like everything you talked about has happened to me. And the question I always get, like you open up with, you know, I heard you were a lawyer. A lot of women don't really think they could have the career that they really want, or they can change careers. I became a comedian when I was 35, and you know I had no reason to. I'm like I had my education, I had good jobs, so I try and tell women that don't think that because you don't think you're done because you got the husband and you have the children, or you know you can always do a side hustle to find what your passion is. And a lot of women are so caught up in being a mom and a wife or just being a woman of today. They feel like, well, why would I want to, you know, try something that's a risk? And, you know, when you take a risk, you can end up really happy. See?
Yeah, that's so true. I believe it, too. You mentioned finding funny moments in their flaws. Is there a flaw that you think you have that you've just turned into a funny moment or a way just to kind of, I guess, embrace yourself?
You know, I have this gap right here, and now gaps are in, they cute, but when I was younger, I had braces twice. I had braces in high school for 3 years, and then as an adult in my 30s. And the retainer, but God always put this gap right back.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. So I'm like, you know what? Stop spending all this money with orthodontists who are probably know too, like, it's going to come back, but I'll take your money. You know? So I just learned to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I have got to find a way to love how I look. I didn't have a lot of confidence when I was, you know, high school. I didn't have boyfriends until I got, you know, in my 20s. So I realized I had to figure out what makes me sexy, what makes me lovable, what makes me me. And I realized the gap and not being a size, you know, 6, 8, 10, or 12, you know, and just loving who I am. And that took my whole life. Like it just kind of clicked like maybe a decade ago. Like, oh, this is it.
Yeah, that feeling comes from within. And you know what? You are setting a trend and an example for other young girls out there who are thinking, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it too. You know, Michael Strahan, the one woman, Lindsay from The Bachelorette, the first Black Bachelorette, also had gaps.
Oh, I love her little
thing. And it's like, well, I want one too.
Exactly. Madonna made it work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no thing. Well, Jackie Fabulous, it was so wonderful talking to you. We wish you all the best while you're in town. She's at Comedy at the Carlson tonight and tomorrow. Check her out and get your tickets early because you know space is limited. Thank you, Jackie. Good to see you.
Thank you. Everybody go to JackieFabulous.com so you can find me. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye now.